Good morning, friends. Morning. I'm on a minute or so early, hoping that Facebook will cooperate and it'll pop up so I can see your comments, okay? But one never knows, so we'll wait till 10 to get started. If you hop on, say hello. Let me know you're here. We haven't done Make It Monday in a while, and so this will be fun. So, all right. Well, it's 10. It's 10 o'clock. Happy Monday. Are you ready for your week? Are you ready to get started? Let's see. No, it's not. See, it's just goofy. Just goofy. I haven't quite figured it out. I don't know why. Oh, there we are. We're live. So, awesome. Yeah, that's just awesome that it finally popped up. I don't know what I did different, but it works. And so if you make a comment, I should be able to see it. Yay. Because I'm going to turn this camera down in a bit. Because we're just going to have a little fun making some cutout shapes and a collage. Simple. But we can start with these because it's something just to start with. And then I want you to be thinking as we're doing this, or if you're watching on the replay, make a comment, because let's think what we could use these for. I have ideas, but I want to see what you guys think, okay? Because Pam's Den of Creative Fun is an opportunity to share and support each other and go, that looked kind of fun. I can do that, but what if we did this too? That would be so good, okay? And just options for more folks to participate, whether their hand skills are not as good as others, or might need a little help, but it's a great way to work on it. And then just, those are, some days I'm cognitively challenged, many of us. How do we break down the task so it's simpler? Or what little bit of that task can they do? So let's just get started, okay? So we're just going to make a collage page that we can use on different things. And I'm going to turn this camera down. Let me do here. Whoops, sorry. Sorry for the camera being goofy. Let's see if this works. Sorry for the glare and stuff, but we're just being creative and stuff. So, but I need that light on so I can see. Okay, so I have these shape cutters. And let's talk about them. They're an opportunity to cut things, shapes, and we need to make this up a little bit higher. Might be a little better. Let's see if that's better. Because otherwise, I don't know if you can see it. All right. Okay. So these are shape cutters. Now these, you push. You push down. You put the paper in. You push it down. And it cuts out the shape. This one's a circle. This one's a square. But they come in lots of different ones. Look at, I even have hearts. And so for some of our folks, and I'm thinking, my friend that visits me every week, he loves what I call heavy work. He likes to push and pull and stuff. So these are great for him because if you put the paper in there, he has to push really hard to cut the paper. Okay, so, but then there's other folks that we need to work on their hand strength. And then there's these that you squeeze to cut the paper. And so, see, there's so many different options. And if all that if you have a Cricut, you could be having them cut out that way. Or you could just, as a caregiver, cut out shapes already. If all this is not a possibility, or it gets in the way, interferes with too many choices, it makes them frustrated, you know. And when we're talking about other stuff, we could even just rip paper. So, but today we're using these shapes. Okay, so I grabbed some cardstock, and I think I put that on our list of materials to use. So, hold on, let me just hold on one sec. Hello again. Yep, okay. All right. Let's come back down here again. I had to check to make sure something was working on the camera. All right. So I have cardstock. You could use regular paper. You could use a lot of different stuff. I grabbed cardstock because it's a little thicker and it won't be, if somebody goes to grab, won't be squished as much. And the cardstock, when we put the Mod Podge on, if I just use construction paper, sometimes it fades or does something that, you know, it ends up not being the color that we want. So that's why I used cardstock. Now, this is just a piece of poster board that this is what we're going to use to cover. So it does not have to be this big. I just grabbed, it can even be bigger. You could be one big piece of poster board on the table and have everybody participate. So, well, hello. If you pop on, say hello so I know who you are. Because that way I can say hello and hi and all that good stuff. And please share your ideas and thoughts. So let's just grab a piece of paper. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put this paper inside this tool. And then we're going to push down. Now, if you can hear that click, that means you've cut through. Okay? And it ends up being the square. Okay. So let's do that a bunch of times. Now, sometimes they don't, people, I don't know, sometimes I want to say, some friends, like they're pushing and they don't understand. So you could do hand over hand is what we call, and push and say, listen for that click. And then push. And then as time goes on, you could let go of that and see if they can do it themselves. Plus, sometimes we all need a little help. Sometimes these like to, I think I just like to give myself, plus by holding it gets it grounds the paper a bit so it doesn't go moving around. Okay. All right, so we got a bunch of squares. And on the paper, you can cut this so you can get to the middle. I'm not going to do that today because I will use this paper. Don't worry. Let's do another. Let's do another in the square. You know, because we can always cut more. Or that could be something that can be done ahead of time. If there's somebody that you find that really likes this, man, they could be doing this as a job, if it's a project that you're planning, and really get it all ready for everybody. Because not everybody might want to participate in this part. All right. Grab another piece of paper, and then we'll move on to another shape. Push. So you guys off to a good Monday? It looks like it's going to be a pretty nice day outside here in Northeast Ohio. So when I'm done here, I probably hope to get over to the park and go for a walk. It's always something I enjoy doing. And some days there's a lot of dogs that get to go for walks. Hello, Carissa and Jameson. I wanted to just say good morning. So have fun watching. I will look for comments at times. But it's, you know, it's hard to do this and look at comments and all that fun stuff at the same time. But, okay, let's grab another shape. Let's do circles. Push. Sometimes you got to use that verbal prompt. Push. Especially if they get like this and they're not pushing so hard. Push. Show me your strength. Show me your muscles. I just keep grabbing different paper. Remember, you can use lots of different kinds of paper. But this is what we're going to do today. It's just what I picked. But think bigger, think whatever. It's even paper that, for some of you who have watched along, we've made paper using the gel plate. Some of these would look so cool, cut out in shapes. Okay, so now on this one, I have this, the covering on the bottom. And some of the other ones I've taken it off, but on this one, so I have to take these out. There they go. Sometimes they get stuck in here. And then I just, there it comes. Okay, look at all these different shapes we have. Let's do one more color in the big circle. Okay. Oops, sorry, bumped the camera. My apologies. Think about it. This is a good exercise. It really makes us use our hands and arms. All right, I got this pile. All right, let's move on. Those are push ones. Let's work on these. These are ones that you squeeze. So, we're going to do red. We got this orange. That'll work. Maybe. We have dark blue. Let's do this dark blue. Okay, so this one you slide it in and squeeze. And then I get to dump. Squeeze, squeeze. You see, this is a good skill. You can see if it fits. Sorry, just checking. Out there. Which one do you think would be easier for you? The squeeze or the push? And if one isn't, it might be a good one to work on. Okay, let's see. We have this shape. Let's cut some out using this shape. What color have we not used? Oh, we have this bright green. Should we try that? Let me see. This is a piece of poster board. Let's see if it cuts through it, okay? All right, so I have this piece. Yep. Remember, those of you watching on the replay, it'll be here. And Facebook has a new rule. It only keeps my lives for 30 days. So I am working on uploading them to YouTube. So follow along. Pam's done a creative fun over there. That way you'll see all the... Well, I'll do my best in getting these uploaded. And I have a question for you. I'm working on creating like a little worksheet or sheet that goes along with this. And so it'll describe what we did, how we did it, and what tools. I think that's helpful to a lot of caregivers. So let me know what you think. Let's see. Ooh, we have this bright pink. What do you think? Should we cut some out of that? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if it cuts through it. It does. A little harder. It's a little thicker. Let's do the rest of this row, and then we'll move on to gluing it on. And then, you know, because I did this little one, which is circles. And so this way it just shows you what we did, but you don't have to do a huge whole piece. You cut up certain sizes. This might be really cute with something on it for a card front. So we'll see. All right. So, you know what? I'm going to move this over and let's concentrate on this one side. I'm going to move these off. And there's no rhyme or reason really where these go. Let's just have some fun. All right, so I have my Mod Podge over here. I have one that's almost getting down to the bottom of the barrel. And so I'm going to open this up and I'm just going to use a paintbrush to put this on. Now, if some of our friends have a hard time holding on to a paintbrush, yes, we can guide them, but sometimes they just need something to help them hold on to it. So there's straps and stuff that we can use, and this is one of them. I just wanted to show you, and that you can slide it over their hand, and they can paint with a paintbrush. So, and we'll problem solve other ones, but I just wanted to show you that. There's universal cuff is another name that a lot of therapists use. So, and then, okay, so I poured a little of the Mod Podge into a container. This is another good adaptation, modification, because several folks that I work with, they put it in there and they grab so much, and it's okay, but we have to work on only a little bit, not so much. So I put it into a small container. So the chance of using an excessive amount is there. Also, there are these. And you could put just a little bit of Mod Podge. You can use these for paint as well, and just a little. So then they might have to ask you for more. Or say, what do I need? What do you need? I need more Mod Podge. And put that in there. So just, yeah. Okay, so I am just going to put some on here. And I'm going to move, well, I'll use this up, and then we'll move to the bigger one. Okay, so let's just start. And then I'm going to put some Mod Podge over top to help secure. And I'm just going to keep grabbing different. And sometimes you can grab it with the paintbrush and it'll stick. And since there's Mod Podge underneath, we don't have to do it every single time, which is very helpful. Grab. Okay. See, it's kind of looking pretty fun, isn't it? I think it looks pretty fun. I'm going to take one of these green ones and put it right there. Let's see. I got the blue one. I'm just going to put some of these out here. Purple. And you know, when we're working with folks, it's okay. If they put a whole bunch of the same one, it's okay. Because you know what, you can always put layers on it and maybe that's the color they want. It's okay. I give you permission. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and ask. If you're watching on the replay, put the questions in the comments and I will answer them. Now, if I have a friend that's going to work on this and you know, I'm holding this, but you don't want to hold it, you can put a container or good old tape. If I can find the end. That's always a fun thing, isn't it? Finding. There it is. Maybe. There we go. I'm trying to find the end. There. All right. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to turn it on itself. And then might not stick to this table, but it might work for now. I'm going to put that down. So then it's right there. It's not going anywhere. You can see it. I might have to tip this over. Sorry. Oh, see, I went to pick it up. Sorry, I had it out of the camera, didn't I? Sorry about that. So that way it stays right there. It's a simple option because there are so many fancy things out there, but let's just use things we have around that can work. Okay. Yeah. Just gonna put some of these down. And you could put them in a system way. You could put, I'm going to put one of these, one of these, one of these. But I am just going with it. Because you might even want to add some later. Other colors. It doesn't have to be done right now. Yeah. Let's see what this is. All right. Okay, let's keep going. See, look at, and that's just on this little piece. Look at all this that can be covered. This could be a big project for a whole group. So, and I'm thinking this wasn't that big of a piece of paper, but it is. Something got stuck on there. Just put these down here. You know what? I'm gonna make a sequence here. Over here. Can you see the top? Let's see. So I make sure I'm using all of them. Let me lift this up a little bit. Okay, so we have these. I'm going to move this out of the way for now. Let's see. Green. I have pink. I can even put them on top here. All right, so those are all the different ones we have. And that way we could just start and make sure we're putting, oh, forgot one, all of them on here. All right, so I'm just gonna work out of my big container of Mod Podge and put a bunch on. I'm gonna move these off enough that I don't hit them with the Mod Podge like I just did. So I'm gonna just start with the one way over on the top here, over to the left, and put that down. And then I'm gonna take the next one. That way it's not like, which one should I do? We have a plan. We have a sequence that they can follow. For whoever, even us. It's like, which one haven't I used a bit? Well, it's okay, because you know it's going to get used. And I'm going to go to this one. Yep. Okay. I'm going to go on to this purple one. This one. And this could be a couple-week project, or some of my friends that come this week or I work with, we could work on this together. But I've already started it. So this is kind of like the model side, how we can do it. So then they're like, oh, I know what I can do now. And it might make them think of other ideas. Like, hey, Pam, let's do this. Love it when I can see the wheels turning in their heads. And I can even go, which color should we do next? If I don't have the sequence, I could say, do you want this one or this one? And whichever one they touch or look at is the one I'm going to say, oh, okay, you want this one. I might pick things that are like not so similar, like maybe like this. Which one should we do? Should we do this bright pink or this light turquoise? Or, you know, look at, we can turn it over and have different colors on different sides. That one's the same, but all right. Am I giving you guys ideas? Making you think? That's what I want to do. That's what we do at Pam's Den, the Creative Fun. I want to empower you guys to have options and ideas and go, I like that, but I would like to do it this way. All right. Should we go back to the pattern? Because I got off track, didn't I? And so somebody could say, Pam, you're not following the pattern. And that's okay. But we want to make sure we're using all these different colors. Now, we could say cover all the white spaces, or we could say we're not going to. It's okay. Let's cover up more and see what it looks like if we cover up more over on this side. So this might have been a little big going over that, but that's okay. Or it might show what we need to cut more of. Okay, Okay, so this one, I don't think we have enough glue underneath, so we got to put more glue down. Right now, I'm thinking I like having some of that white showing. Okay, so I'm going to move this over a little. So let's work more down. Let's fill in these bigger white spaces. This could use a big pink one over here, I think. Okay, let's see. I got this blue one. Where should this one go? Up a bit. See, the paper's so big. We got to see if it fits in the camera. There. Keep moving it up. Okay, let's put. And you could decide you like all one shape. I'm going to do all circles, all squares. Let's do one more. Let's see. There's already a bunch of purple. How about we'll go over here? Whoop. Push, push, push. Okay, how about green over here in this corner? Pink one. I almost felt like it was like two of them, but I don't think it is. All right, so I'm going to just go over it. That doesn't mean that later I won't do more. This one was kind of got some glue on it, so let's figure out where this can go. How about right down here? Okay, Jameson, I hear ya. I know we had done this before, but it's fun to do it again. And I'm glad you told me you enjoyed it. Now, I want you to think, what's one thing you would make with these papers? Put your thinking cap on. Help us with our friends come up with one idea of what you could do with these. And Jameson, which part did you like? Did you like creating the art, or did you like punching them with the shape cutters? You let me know. You don't have to tell me right now, but I'm just telling you to think about it. And then I know you'll let me know. Yeah. I like how you ask questions and share ideas. That's pretty wonderful. I really appreciate it. Oh, shaking the table. Right. Okay, I'm going to get the dryer and just dry this a little bit so I don't stick to it. And today I just have a hair dryer. It works. Now I'm going to turn it up high so if it's noisy, cover your ears. Okay, now I'm going to tell you something. You know what just happened? A lot of these pieces went flying. So it's something I need to remember, huh? So that's why sometimes I go to my other dryer that kind of focuses right here. Doesn't blow around as much as a hair dryer. But we need to use what we have. Okay, I have a question. What do you think if we tried to cut out a shape with all these layers on here? Should we give that a try? I think we should. I'd like to. Because it's okay. So I'm going to stick this in. I want to see if it'll cut through it, okay? I might have to stand up for this one. And it might be too thick. Okay, guys, it's too thick. It went in a little bit, but not good enough. Okay, so that's a good reminder that that didn't work. But it might be kind of fun to use for something. Yeah. So too many layers, and if you go to do this again, it's not going to cut through. Okay? So, because this is pretty thick. But I just wanted to try. And you don't know unless you try, right? Okay. So we're going to let this really dry. I'm going to move my paintbrush over. I'm going to put... Here, let me come up here. I'm going to put find the lid. That's always fun in here. Oh, there it is. The lid to the top of the Mod Podge. And there's other kind of sealers we can use. And that's something, if we get the den of possibilities going, you'd be able to ask more questions and talk about more adaptations and all that fun stuff. Maybe by the summer we'll get that going. Maybe. Would that be good? If there's any caregivers out there, would you want to have more kind of one-on-one time? So we will see. So, all right, my friends, I'm going to let this dry. I think look at that. Isn't that cool? What should we use it for? It could be in a piece of art. It could be, oh, I don't know, Jameson, I want you to think. Carissa, I want you to think. I want you to let me know what you think, what we could do with it. All right. Well, this was fun. I hope many more of my friends watch it on the replay and let me know. There are a few that really showed interest, and I'd really like to hear from them. I might, if I see them in person, I'm going to ask them. And then I could post what they thought and saw. They might not have been able to come on today. Mondays can be kind of crazy, but that's why we like to do it on Mondays, because it's a good way to start our week. Okay, so caregivers out there, let me know what you're looking for. What did we share some good tips and recommendations and ideas and supports? I think so. I think we did. So I want you to guys be really, have fun. and keep thinking. And we'll see you next time. See you next Monday. All right. Bye, friends.